Good morning and welcome to today's Smart Business Strategies podcast. I am Anna Wiles, the franchise economist. I am so happy that you're here joining us today. Can't wait for you to meet my special guest, David Colella with Screen Mobile. David, welcome to the show.
Hi, Anna. Thank you very much for having me and good pronunciation of my name. Thank you.
And Mobile.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about you and Screen Mobile. What does it do?
Well, Anna, I've been in service-based businesses for over 30 years. I've founded, started, built very successful service-based organizations, had exit with private equity companies. So it's I've got a lot of experience in building and growing service-based businesses. And Screen Mobile is just a phenomenal brand, and we're a unique business where we manufacture screens that go in people's homes. So window screens, door screens, porch and patios, lanais. It's a unique concept.
Well, it really is, David, and I love that it's a niche player in home services. I love the expression, riches are in the niches. So what makes Screen Mobile different and unique when it comes to home service franchises? Because there are quite a bit.
You know, Anna, you're absolutely right. There's a ton of different players in the home services arena. However, in screening services, and we've been in business for 45 years, so we've been in business since 1980.
That's
So
very
we have,
impressive.
yeah, that's yeah, thank you. It's a but there's literally no national competition when you're talking about screening services.
Mhm.
And our number one competitor is going to be the local handyman. And
Mhm.
we differentiate ourselves from the local handyman because what we're doing is we have a proprietary system where we're manufacturing the screens on site at the customer location. So when we go out to
Wow.
do a quote, when we go out to do an estimate, we can actually manufacture the screen at the time of quote or estimate.
That is phenomenal, and that cuts down cost. It makes the customer happy. It's right there, fast, efficient, and you're on to the next job. And that is great for business owners and cash flows. That's fantastic. Okay, so help the audience understand, David, what is the role of the owner of a Screen Mobile franchise? Are they working in the business, or are they working on the business, or do you offer both options?
Great question, Anna. And so we have two models. We have an owner operator model and we have an executive model. The owner operator model is where the franchise owner actually starts the business by going out and doing the screening services themselves. And we teach them how to do the screening services. And I have to say, Anna, I am shocked and surprised no longer, but in the beginning I was, at how many people coming from corporate America in C-level positions and VP level positions that actually want to start by going out and doing the work themselves. So
Mhm.
for our owner operator model, they're gonna start by doing the work themselves and then build the business up where they hire technicians. We call them screeners underneath them. Or they can start out with the executive model business where they're going to start out with a small footprint of two technicians, two screeners, and the owner working in the business as well.
All right. Well, is there any particular background that's necessary for an owner to be successful with Screen Mobile? For example, do they need to be handy? Do they need to come from construction or home services, David?
No, they do not need to have any particular licensing. They don't need to have any particular skills. We like to say if they can change a light bulb, Anna, then we can train them how to do screening services.
All right, that's fantastic to know. That means I'm a possible candidate then. And I'm in the South. I'm in the South. Boy, do we have screens. We love our screens because we have mosquitoes. Okay, so David, share with the audience your labor model. Are these W-2 employees that you have as your screeners, or do you use 1099 contractors?
Yeah, great question. So what we do is we have a W-2 model. So all of our core base employees are W-2 employees of the franchise owner. Now they can always be supplemented with additional staff that might be 1099 from time to time, but the core model is W-2 employees. And we found that to be a successful model since the very beginning.
David, our audience really can relate to the stories of people who've left the corporate world and become franchise business owners. Do you have 2 or 3 maybe case studies that you could share with our audience to kind of hit home that no particular background or industry experience is needed to be a success with ScreenMobile?
And I actually have about 150 examples for you, but I guess for the sake of this program, I'll talk about a couple. I mean, we've got a guy in the southern market that came out of came from corporate America. He literally didn't know the difference between a toothbrush and a tape measure, and he started out the business by doing the work himself, and he grew the business into an entity that now does over $6 million a year.
Oh my goodness, that is a phenomenal story. So he started off owner operator, hands-on, building the screens, meeting the customers himself, then grew to where he had a team or a team of screeners. Then he had multiple teams of screeners.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we've got another guy that was in software sales for a number of years, and he actually kept his software sales job for a couple of months as he started the business, and he's built it into a quite an entity. And we've got videos out there where they can see him in action and where he's being interviewed and things like that. And we've got. I even have a doctor that I'm dealing with right now, and I assumed he would want to start with the executive model business, but he said, David, I became a doctor to work with people, to work on people. He goes, and all I deal with are insurance companies and paperwork all day long. I want to start by doing the work, and he does extremely well. But then you get the people that want to hire a team right out of the gate, which is where our model is and what we want people to do, because we want them to get over that $1 million a year model.
As quickly as possible. And so if you don't mind, David, share with the audience a bit about your amazing and comprehensive training and support, not just for the owners, but also for the screeners.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a 90-day onboarding program, and 2 of those weeks are spent at our headquarters for the franchise owners, where they're learning the business strategies of running a ScreenMobile organization. They're learning how to build a company, grow a company, but also we're taking them out on live jobs because we run an entity out of our corporate location, so they can go on site. So we do 2 days in the classroom, 2 days in the field, 2 days in the classroom, 2 days in the field. So the owners get real hands-on experience in how to run, manage, and the technical side of the business. And then we have
that.
And then we've got training for the technicians, and we've got training centers all over the country that we that our franchise owners, technicians go to on a regular basis. And because we've got locations around the country, a lot of times franchisees will have them come work with them, and the culture is great, and they're very inviting to have people come and train with them.
Well, it sounds from A to Z. So if you don't know a toothbrush from a tape measure, you can come in, learn it all, be hands-on, have some experience there at the corporate office with people who will train you and support you throughout your whole tenure as a business owner with ScreenMobile. Sounds really wonderful.
Well, thank you, Anna. It really is it's a great company with great culture. We've got a huge success rate, and it's a modest investment, and we help people get through the process and understanding, because a lot of people are coming from, they've never built a business, they've never grown a
Mhm.
business, and we get them through what their fears might be, their uncertainties, their doubts,
Mhm.
and guess what? Small business ownership isn't for everybody. So,
That's right.
we make sure that they're right for us, and we want to make sure that we're right for them.
Well, I love that you're picky about who you select as franchisees and award territories to. So, is your business scalable? Do you have franchisees who own multiple territories?
Yes, we do. We have franchise owners that own a single territory, and then we have franchise owners that own multiple contiguous territories that do extremely well. And then we have franchise owners that actually own locations in one state. They operate that business, and then they bought a Screenmobile in another state and got that up and running. So we've got multiple franchisees that run locations in multiple states.
Well, that speaks to the systems, the technology, the procedures, well honed, well defined, and it's just a matter of wash, rinse, and repeat, right, for the next territory.
You got it.
All right, fantastic. Well, this show is called Smart Business Strategies, David. What is a smart business strategy that Screenmobile uses that you'd really like us, the audience, to have as a takeaway about the opportunity?
Great question. And Screenmobile is the type of business where it's an essential service. People need their screens when when they get torn, when they get there's some type of weather event. It's Amazon proof, it's AI proof, it's economy proof, it's even president proof. So which these days goes a long way.
It absolutely does. It's an essential service. It's home-based. It's low cost. It's in demand, no matter who's sitting in the White House or what the interest rate is. I know I have dogs. If that screen porch uh, that screen gets torn or loose, and there's the option that they might be able to slip out, that is going to make it to the top of the to-do list. That's not a want. That's a need.
Well, Anna, after the show, call me because we have something called pet screens just for that very
Woo.
reason. So it sounds like we need to come out to your house to install some pet screens.
You absolutely do. I'm so glad to know about that. And I know the audience is too. Well, David, thank you for being here. And if someone wants to learn more about this great, amazing, awesome opportunity, what do you recommend they do?
Well, Anna, I think you know a lot about our business and you know a lot about the people that we're looking for. So I would recommend that they contact you.
Okay, well, thank you, David. Audience, this is David Colella with Screenmobile. Thank you for being here, David. This has been very eye-opening.
Well, thank you for having me, Anna. I appreciate it.
Oh, I am really tickled. I am a big fan of your franchise and of your parent company, Authority Brands. So appreciate you sharing the good news about what Screenmobile has to offer. And audience, thank you for being here. And be sure to come back next week for another eye-opening, compelling franchise that you probably never, ever would have thought of on your own. Who even knew that there was a franchise for screen manufacturing and installation? Right, David? I mean, it's just amazing. And you've been around for 45 long years. What a wonderful track record. So, audience, be sure to come back next Wednesday at noon for 15 minutes. Set an alarm, make it a priority. We'll see you then. I'm Anna Wiles, the franchise economist, and be wildly wealthy in all areas of your life. Bye-bye.